Hi everyone and welcome to Deetaux where we talk about life and work. My name is Dee, I'm your host, and today we have with us Pankaj Khatnani, CTO for all the way from Dubai. Pankaj, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you for calling me across. How are you?
I'm fantastic. How is your trip so far all the way into Kuwait?
My trip has been great so far.
So Pankaj, we're going to move on to the first question. You started your career off at the age of 17 as a media associate, and you're now in technology. How would you describe your 14 years of career so far?
I think it has been a great ride with various ups and downs, but a lot of learnings and gave me a new hope every day.
So, what was the reason that you moved from media up into tech?
The reason I think it was pure passion. By degree, I'm an electrical engineer,
Yeah.
but I hold, I think, 11 plus years in tech. I started with hardware, somehow I entered into software. Someone guided me across, not very great handhold, but yeah, rest the passion followed, and it's looked to me a little bit interesting on its own.
All right, so Pankaj, question number two would be, this is something that I've wanted to know all along. Do we need intelligence or automation when it comes to technology?
Yes, we do require a process and an automation to understand the tech and how to handle it across. And then there is a ways to update ourselves like we update our lives every day.
Understood. So, do you think intelligence is far more required? Let's say somebody who wants to enter this career. Do you think intelligence is more important or the understanding of automation?
I think collectively it's both, and third, it should be a passion somewhere, and they have an attitude of not to give up and feel it's easy. And this is what I felt about myself, and I felt the people who felt it easy. They think it easy, they start doing it, and the only way to do it is by doing it.
That's a very important thing of not giving up, because I can understand and I can imagine, when you have that one bug in an entire, perfectly written code, you could like go on for days and days and days to debug the whole thing.
Yes, it's true. It does
Yeah,
happen.
yeah. All right, we'll move on to question number three. What are your tried and tested ways of dealing with burnouts, specifically for people who are coming from the tech background? The main reason is because I believe working endless nights after nights is very common. So how do you deal with burnouts?
With burnout, I believe we deal burnout in everything in every field. It does applies. The only way to handle it, to keep learning something new and to find somewhere you can feel peace. So I try doing new things every now and then.
Yeah.
And I try to remain where I am, apart from when I'm not using my phone or something. So at least I try to be 2 to 2.5 hours every day to remain without tech, to
Understood.
remain in
Yes,
between human
yes.
and nature. And at the end of the day, if you understand human and nature, you can connect it back to tech also.
Right. No, that's fantastic. That's a very nice way of putting it. We'll move on to question number four. What, in your opinion, is the most stressful situation in tech? Basically, a situation that requires code red to be initiated.
I think there are two stages where it generally happens code red for us. In the initialization of the project, when we start it across, and then there are multiple people that are handling the project, and everyone has a different view, and they just want it quick. So quick that they follow that we also need to make sure that it ties everything one after another.
Yeah.
And they don't allow intricacies to work across, because at the end of the day, tech is built for human and humans are going to use it.
Right.
So if anyone required any guide to use it, or any human can't understand the tech, or let's say any tech product without a guide, it's a problem.
Understood.
So it should be guideless. Technically, that is one situation which we find a code red, that if the process flow is not defined, or we don't get enough time to get it done, and they don't wait for that and they just want to rush. Second thing, I feel when the product is getting launched, at that time they wanted to go so pristine, so perfect, and they just wanted, okay, every new thing they see today, they want to update it.
Yeah,
Every 1 hour
yeah,
before
yeah.
they see it, no, just cancel the launch and just we add it up something. And no, it doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
You put it right, what you thought is right, let's put in the market and test what the feedback comes it across, and then turn it, and then keep turning up your feedback up now and then. And if you don't update the pace with the market, eventually the product dies. So this is something that people need to understand, that there are tech, but also it's made for humans. So there should be a human element involved and the effort to be involved so the humans can understand why to use it.
Yeah.
If I can't bring a behavioral change why it's needed for me, I'm not going to use it.
Correct, correct. I absolutely agree. And with like the amount of products that are being launched every single day, almost every single minute, to be honest,
Yeah, true.
and how the industry is evolving as a whole.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it goes very quickly and it fades away very quickly because
Yes.
people, there's again the same thing. It will look like a cliche, but many people think I started something and I launched a tech product. The people will come tomorrow. Millions and billions people will come. No, you've just launched an app. There are 500 other apps opening and registering at the
Yes.
same minute. It's
Yes.
not going to
Yes.
run by itself. You require 80 to 85% more effort into marketing to gather feedback, to have complete the entire loop until you get that level of users where you
Correct.
can decide it's working, not working, or what to improve.
Or what type of updates to push, technically.
It requires design update. It also required feature updates. Basically, it requires the problem that you're trying to solve is actually getting solved. And if there are new tools coming for those problems to be solved,
Yeah.
you should make sure that your tool can do better than that.
Yeah.
For instance, Adobe updated themselves with AI. They purchased Figma as a tool. They also brought Adobe Express. Even Firefly and Express, I believe they are very expensive products to run it across, but they're running for free. They have brought in every product as a beta.
Yeah.
And if ChatGPT is that expensive, I can believe Adobe is 10 times more expensive than that to run it at
Yeah.
that scale.
Yes. Yes.
But they're gathering data, making sure it's true and right, and then they're launching it across. So you need to understand where the shift is happening. You can't think, I thought this is right, so it's going to be right because you are a millionaire or a billionaire or you have done across 10 years. It may be possible today, I might know a lot, but again, every day, every hour, if you're in a tech field, I need to start again
Correct.
and be ready for
Correct.
it.
Correct. So, Pankaj, thank you so much for the
My
entire
pleasure.
feedback on this. We're going to move on to the last question, which is your way. This is something that we ask all of our guests, actually.
Okay.
It kind of just gives us an insight on the person's personality, especially at work. How would you say, in quote, constantly following up on the matter isn't going to speeden things up in a very corporate way?
In a very corporate way.
Yeah.
I understand the urgency at your pace, but please allow us a little time to be it perfect and it works. So please be a little patient and we would be with you shortly.
Understood. And what if they get back with the same thing that
Shortly is
any
not
update?
effective. Shortly is
No,
not enough.
any
Let's say.
update and a question mark that they usually come with.
Any update and a question mark. It's under process and we will be keep updating you very shortly. And if there are more than one people are involved, I will just personally give them a call and make them understand this is what the situation it is and this is what transparency it is.
Understood.
How you would like to deal it. You want me to come up with a very small solution that work now in 10 minutes, I can do it. You want me to fix your problem for all, so be a little patient.
Work now in 10 minutes and probably not work for another 10 minutes. So, in that sense, it's better to wait a little longer to
Yeah.
have a better product. Before we move on to the final segment of the show, what advice would you give someone opting for the same career, which is tech, or who's already in your industry?
I would just say keep updating themselves every day and every second and be ready for the change. Doesn't matter however you have learned it. I'm today a new student maybe for AI. I may be a new student for NFT. I might be a new student today at crypto. Okay, I know many programming languages design, but that is far gone. The design trend changes, everything changes. So be ready with it. There's no limitation that from where you are coming or where you're standing. Even a small handheld device can teach you a lot.
Yeah.
So I started with technically a laptop and a cell phone, and the laptop which hardly cost, I believe, 5,000 rupees at that time. I started with that. That was a second hand.
I'm going to cut you. So 5,000 rupees is, I need to ask my team, how much is 5,000 rupees in KWD?
5,000 rupees.
25 KD?
No, 20.
20 KD.
20 KD.
So 20 KD laptop is what you started with.
Yeah, 20 KD laptop, second hand, purchased from scrap.
Yeah.
And that's how I started my learning. I think started with a Photoshop and then I started learning. So anything, whatever you would like to learn it. So I was earning, learning, again spending and just repeating the loop. and then slowly and gradually you will get up wherever you want to.
It's fantastic. So, Pankaj, we're going to move on to the last segment of the show, which is pick 5 random questions that we have in this bowl over here. And again, none of us know what is inside this bowl because it was created by the team. And you can answer or pass because I don't know if they're inappropriate, whether they're appropriate, whether they're work related or not. So, I'm going to be picking these questions, and again, you have 10 seconds to reply. Okay?
Okay.
Any special color or anything?
Orange.
Orange, all right. If you could attend any artistic or creative event, which one would it be?
What it was? Sorry.
Okay, just one more time. Okay. If you could attend any artistic or creative event, which one would it be?
I think it will be Dutch Messe conference in Sibit. If I can go back in time to 2016 or 2015.
Okay. All right, we'll move on to the next one. Any color choice?
Yellow.
Yellow. All right, this is nice. What's the most touching act of generosity you've been a part of?
To myself
No,
or
that
to
you've
someone
been
else?
a part of to someone else.
I shall say pass.
Pass. Okay. All right. Okay. Any special color? I go with blue.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. The third one. What 3 words would your friends use to describe you?
Risk taker. Crazy
Okay.
and boring.
Boring. Boring because tech or boring because just
I'm a versatile.
versatile? Okay. We're moving on to the fourth one. What's the most adventurous thing you've ever done?
I think I went walking 25 kilometers on a track, and I don't know when I will reach up over there. With, I think,
With
20
your
kgs
phone?
plus.
With your phone? Without your phone?
With entire wildcraft bag I was
Oh
having on
my
my
goodness.
backpack with 20 kgs, with having laptop and all those things, and I don't know actually it's a track. And I just jumped into it.
All right. Okay. Last question. So, anything?
Yeah, anything.
Okay, let's go dig into the deep parts of this and pull something out. All right. If you could witness any major historical event, which one would it be?
I think I would like to witness the bulb invention, Thomas Edison, if I can.
Okay. Okay.
Because he said something very interesting, that I just found 10,000 ways that how the bulb can't work.
Yes.
And but to the outside world, he said that the bulb is actually already working to his investors. So he was on a very thin line of his career and everywhere else. But he didn't give up.
That's fantastic. So, Pankaj, thank you so much for coming on the show today, and I hope you have a very pleasant trip for
Same
how
here.
many days you have left in Kuwait. And thank you all for joining us on the show today. And all of his socials are going to be linked on www.deetox.com and an article as well. And any closing words from your side?
It was lovely speaking to you, and it has been always great being in Kuwait, and it always feels like home.